Hello and welcome to another week at DroneDJ. This week we have a new drone in the market that's not DJI. Let me share my screen. We've been guessing who's gonna come out to compete with DJI. Now we
I
don't
just
know if
wanna
this is
I
gonna
just
be.
wanna say we guessed, I said Japan. I'm just saying.
There you go.
I just want to claim it, I said Japan. They have the camera tech and they have experience building technology, so why not? Although we have our doubts. We were talking about we literally were talking about this and all of a sudden I heard we're going live. I'm like, oh, okay. So yes, Japan's
Is
what's
it
the name of
a
the company?
competitor? We shall see. But
ACSL Soten is the name
Japan
of the
did
drone.
announce their new industrial drone, which is they're saying is in direct competition with the DJI Mavic 3 Enterprise lineup. It's called Sultan. The price, first thing I was looking for is price tag. So you're looking at just shy of 10,000. I believe this is USD. So this is more expensive than the Mavic 3 Enterprise lineup for sure.
Mhm.
Has a 20 megapixel 1-inch sensor. However, you know what? The 10,000, it doesn't really specify. I was on their official website. Doesn't really specify because this one has a swappable camera, swappable payload. I wonder if it's 10,000 including all the payload. Then that will make a big difference.
Yeah, I'm sure that is a press release like line because I don't see like
Don't see any details
I
on
don't see
the
any
official
prices. I
website.
just see a contact me button. So
Right.
I'm assuming that's like okay, we're starting at below $10,000 somewhere. So, uh,
It
but
says
I'm
it's direct competition with Mavic 3 Enterprise and Phantom 4. However, what I was also looking for is the first thing it says the small and compact drone can conduct mapping, surveying, inspection. I was trying to find the RTK if it's gonna do survey. Where's the RTK module? But I couldn't find it.
although if you look on top, it has mounting points for accessories and it has a you can see like on that top of the drone. There should be like a top down photo somewhere on the website in the early. You might have already passed it, but that it does right there. Yeah, so you can see it has the mounting for accessories on top. So I'm wondering if it's just going. It doesn't have an accessory yet, or a third part. Oh, there we go. Even better. There's a third party accessory coming soon. So, especially those
And looks
four
like they
pins that
also
look
have
straight up
different
for RTK.
controller options. See, this one looks more like the DJI's RC Plus controller.
That okay. Okay. So here's I'll get this out of the way. It looks very first generation. And my concern about any
3D
competitor
printing.
to DJI is it's not whether or not the camera specs and the capabilities match up. Any company can come out with a drone that has similar camera specs, it can fly, it can have decent battery life. Like that technology is now pretty readily available to all companies. The issue that reason why DJI and Autel are still king when it comes to enterprise products and why police departments and fire departments are pissed about having to get rid of their drones is because the user interface and the software that they use is just so far superior. That drone, that controller screams Teal. If you don't know, the company Teal, I got to fly their stuff, and that software sucks. Like, yes, it allows you to do everything, but it's kind of like I
But
don't want
how
to
does
do
it allow you?
everything. I just want to fly. So yeah, it's it just screams very first generation to me. So maybe there maybe there's a a mark. I mean, maybe this is going to be the killer. I don't think this version is going to be the killer, but we have a new entry. Japan has some pretty awesome ability to make some pretty awesome technology, so I am definitely optimistic about this. However, just coming out with a drone with comparable specs does not mean you're going to kill DJI.
And can I just say, I'm always skeptical when a drone manufacturer comes out and says, "Hey, the first thing they're trying to market is, we're anti-hacking, we prevent data
Data
leakage."
leakage.
Right. I mean, it's great you're compliant with that, but I don't think that should be a main marketing feature. I mean, that's a given.
Every
Every
company
drone
doesn't want to be
to do
pro
that.
hacking or anti data. That's every drone. Every company doesn't want to have
From
their
a
data
drone
leaked.
pilot, from an operator perspective, I want to see specs. If they're marketing this for mapping and survey, I want to see. There's nowhere in there that says how does it provide centimeter accuracy for survey, right? How does it provide precision There's nothing in there that says that. Or what software is it compatible to process the data?
Yeah. DJI has years, if not decades, on of time on it. So a first generation product is never going to come out and say like, "Hey, cool, like this is a first generation product is never going to come out and kill it." So it's just going to be really difficult, even from Japan. Even though Japan's
we talked about it last year when it was announced in May of 2023. There's a question on when is this going to be available for order. I haven't seen the information.
It seems, I don't know. I'm sure the project's taking pre-orders now. I don't know. Like it weird. There's no wording.
Well, it says Salton is working with authorized retailers, so they're trying to set up their distribution network.
So I wonder. I'm guessing I can. I'll probably reach out to the company I reached out before to fly out all the NDA drones. So maybe they'll have one. Maybe they'll also be able to fly the X10.
Hopefully, at some point this year. They announced it spring of last year.
So yeah, and now it's available. I guess
this is to become a product. It needs to be available this year.
This going back to the controller. That controller just concerns me that it's absolutely not good. Like it looks like it's going to be. It looks very similar to the Teal and to trying to think of the other Skydio's NDA controller, where it's not that one. That one. Oh, that one looks very concerning. That one I have no faith in it being a really great controller. I was thinking of the one like the pro looking one.
This looks retro to me.
Yeah,
like all it reminds me was when I first started playing with computers.
Yeah, it does look like something like I would see in like the new Tetris movie that came on Apple TV. So the Pro controller, like it reminds me of Teal's, where it has like the kill and the power switches on the top left and right. Those don't look like normal switches. Those look like it's going to be like you press one button and all of a sudden it just spins up the blades, and you press the other one and just stops the blades, which can be useful in scenarios.
Can I just say the product design, the way like those switch buttons are on the top?
I'm sure for big, having big clubs, like I'm sure that's really nice instead of having like small buttons or something like that. I don't know, like. It seems like I wonder if this is gonna be like a 3D printed enclosure with a phone inside the center of it, like Skydio's is. If you don't know about Skydio's NDA controller, literally it's like a Galaxy Note or something stuck inside a 3D printed enclosure. Like that's it. So I wonder if it's gonna be similar to that as well, where it's just a phone and a 3D printed and it just works, like, which is fine. Like, but it's not comparable to DJI's RC Plus.
There's delay, yeah. There's always latency in all the non-DJI products. There's always a much bigger latency. I noticed that too.
Yeah. Skydio has latency when you try to fly it. Like it does not seem like you're flying the drone. It seems like you're convincing the drone to do something.
And if
I very similar.
If I never flew DJI drones, I can totally live with it. But the problem is once you flew DJI drones and you get spoiled with
Autel, because Autel is just as
responsive, right?
Yeah, like DJI and Autel, like they just have a leg up on everything from software to just overall experience in the market, and it's going to take a while. And I know I have a little faith in U.S. companies because they seem to be going down the lobbyist route versus innovation route. Japan, on the other hand, like I can see Japan possibly taking in the future, maybe in like 5 years, actually coming up and making some innovative products that can compete with DJI and Autel, if they choose to do so. If they don't choose to ride the,
but I'll just say I don't believe this is the one.
I don't believe this is the one. But hey, everyone needs a step one. Everyone needs a the someday meme. Everyone needs a day one.
We talked about this before. We said if you really are going to come out and compete with DJI, don't start prematurely releasing your first generation products, your 3D printing testing models. Just wait till you actually come out with the right product.
Japan is interesting. Like Japan has an interesting culture. I think in the US that's very much true. Like if you're going to try to compete with China, like you have to really come out with an amazing first product. Japan has a whole different culture on everything. I'm sure this will be extremely popular in Japan for Japan, companies. They want to get away from China. but US wise, it might be a little harder because I think I mean, especially if they don't have anything with RTK, it might be a little more difficult.
Moving along with data security. So DJI finally released a official response about their data security concern, especially from US Defense and the FAA recent memo. It's interesting because they were listing facts, right? Facts, they have been providing robust safety and security protections. They said default collection does not exist and that there are options for local data mode. This is the first time DJI actually came out and officially took a position and provided a response to the data security.
At least the first time where they've provided some sort of comment without being asked for one by media. Because I remember when Florida did their statewide ban on DJI drones, they released a product, but it was more, they released a response to it, but it was more like disappointed, like DJI is such a great product, like they're harming safety and security of their other citizens, like more like that. But this is the first time they've come out and be like, hey, like here are the facts, like here's how, or at least here we gotta always be, here are the facts according to DJI, you always gotta preference that, but here are the our statements on how we handle privacy, which is the first time they've done that, of course.
I would like to see facts from if it's an FBI memo or if it's national security or if it's FAA, whoever comes out with accusations, they're supposed to provide proof. And, similar to DJI, provide some facts, right?
Well, they're supposed to, but they don't have to in the world of U.S. politics. I would love to see facts.
Of course. I think in the world of politics.
I mean, it's someone coming from experience of working with the federal law enforcement for my family, the FBI is not necessarily the one who are going to be the most non-political, and so anything coming from them is a little iffy in my opinion. So and Homeland Security also is very up there with politics, but FBI especially. So it would be nice to see facts from anyone on the counter side of how DJI is sharing information to the Chinese party, Communist Party. There's been none. If anything, there's been only more facts against it.
This is also facts from DJI. I mean, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, if they were sharing data with either Chinese government or anybody else, it's not something they're going to come out and say anyway.
Of course not. Like DJI, if the accusations are true, like DJI is not going to come out and say they are.
It's got to be the counterpart, whoever brings the accusations. They've got to come out and present proof or facts.
The United States is a world of innocents are proven guilty. So if they're not going to provide facts, I mean, you can't say DJI is doing it because you don't have any facts yet. But hey, politics be politics, and they're going to say whatever.
Well, along that note, DJI made a major update on the Fly app. I tried it yesterday. It was actually it is a big improvement, especially if you're using the standard DJI RC controller or if you're using it on the phone, because the challenge is also always so much information on a smaller screen, right? So the one thing I liked was I could make larger text display, and the way they did everything on the screen, it did make it easier to read. And there was before your fly section with all the safety check. And then there's also there's one thing, ding, ding, not the search, but so before you fly or where you fly. So in the updated app, you can actually go to a location, and it would actually, my guess is it was drawing user submitted data from SkyPixel. It would actually show you some examples of aerial photos or videos by other DJI users. And they would actually show you how it looks from the air. So almost like location scouting, right? Like whenever we go film, we look at the location, say, is it going to be good to film or not? So you can actually have a quick preview of what are the different interesting landmarks or spots around you. Decide, if you want to go there or not. And people were sharing their notes about it. So it's actually pretty cool.
That's, that's really nice for people who travel.
Yeah.
They don't know where to go.
Yeah. So if you haven't updated the Fly app, give it a try. The new features are pretty nice.
Yeah. One interesting thing for the interest before you fly, because we were talking about before, and you didn't understand it what I was talking about.
Oh.
But the FAA has also updated their app this week with the Before You Fly app, which is different than this Before You Fly app.
It was so confusing. I was like,
I
what,
know. I
wait a
didn't
sec,
realize.
is this Before You Fly app the Before You Fly
I
app?
didn't realize that that they added Before You Fly literally the exact same information. So yeah, if you don't know, like so Aloft, who is like the leader in like pretty much if you're using an app to get any sort of compliance with airspace, they dropped out of Before You Fly with the FAA. So we were kind of in limbo what's going to happen, but it looks like they did get a new. I don't know who developed it though, but yeah, they did a new update with Before You Fly, kind of adding in just a refreshed UI, some more resources and information, stuff like that, which is cool. But I'm super excited to do this one. Like I need to take it out this weekend and fly it if the weather is good. We've had like super foggy weather. And like I was gonna fly beginning of the week because we just got fresh snow, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so cool to go out fly. And then all of a sudden, it instantly started raining, then instantly went into fog. And I'm like, I just want to. I hate flying in winter.
We had almost near zero visibility last night.
Yeah, the same. Like, or maybe not last night, the night before that. I remember I woke up one morning, I started driving. I'm like, oh, I can see nothing, like absolutely nothing. So.
And I was driving back last night. I felt like Silent Hill.
It did, yeah. A few places, yeah, that's true. Yeah, fog is not fun to drive in.
Last story for this week. There is a court case brought by, where was the board name? There we go, North Carolina Board of Examiners for Engineers and Surveyors. So they are suing the owner of a drone company for providing drone mapping and survey services. I'll just say that this is a long-standing conflict, right? With had something like this similar in Canada as well. So what happened is surveyor is a legal title, right? Not just surveyor, engineers, it's a professional designation. And at some scenarios, it may even be a legal title that's given. So surveyors were always upset when drone pilots are calling themselves drone surveyors, because surveyors think that survey is a legal title, which it is true if you're holding, let's say, a land surveyor title by a specific state, right? Or in Canada by a province. What's interesting is you don't have to do legal drone survey. I mean, we always say drone survey is too fancy a title. To say the least, drone is a data collector. You're using it to collect data. And what you're doing with the data, how to process it, present it, and how to certify it, it's a different story. We don't have all the details for the court case, but I would be interested in knowing how would a board actually, how would they be suing a drone company depending on how they're providing the service? Because if the drone company does not have, or the operator does not have, let's say, the engineer or surveyor title, then they can simply say we provide data, right?
Yeah, which is true. Like, I mean, all you're doing is providing data services. I mean, you're going out, like, I'm not, just because I can take my drone out and get, good, I can get like a multispectral drone, go out and fly a farm field. Doesn't mean I know what to do with that information. Like, I'm just gonna give that data off to someone else, then process the data,
right?
So they know what they're doing, or give it to the farmer and whatnot. I'm not gonna call myself I don't know what you would call it, agricultural data specialist, something. I don't know. So it makes sense that we just collect data and then we provide it. Now I guess it makes sense, like they're actually doing the surveying and they're not surveyors.
You can still say you survey land. Well, that's the other perspective. There's the professions of GIS, geomatics information system specialist. It can just be someone be specialized in understanding or interpreting Earth's surface information. So, for example, if we're doing a survey just on topography change and we're giving that information to, let's say, engineering firms, so they know how much elevation change if they're going to cut and fill to level the ground. It's not a legal survey, right? So there's a difference between, are you providing data for them to do estimate versus are you getting to a step to say this is a legal survey? So it'll be interesting to see what really triggered them to go, start an actual court case against a drone operator.
Yeah, they must have something like that they have something on their side, or they'll just butthurt. I don't know. maybe they don't. Maybe just want to. They don't want people calling it surveying anymore.
I mean, it's like someone can come out and says, "Hey, I can provide accounting service to you," but am I an actual accountant? They don't have to be an accountant.
I can't file your taxes, but I can tell you like where to put your money.
Yeah, I can
it happens on YouTube every day. Yeah, happens on YouTube all the time. So,
well, we will keep an eye on the case progress and see what details come out. So that's all the stories we got for you this week. A new drone from Japan, DJI's response to data security, and the update for the Fly app. Like I said, if you plan to fly this weekend, give it a try and let us know what you think. And we'll see you back here next Friday.